Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jake from GD Honey Acres, and I'm doing another little tool review today. Let me grab it real quick. It is on the Bauer cordless brad nailer. I'm currently running the 5 amp battery in it. I think it works the best from what I've used it on. I've taken this with me to Iowa to work on a property there, and it did rather well for what I needed it to. So we're going to go with it today, check it out. I'm running just your standard, what is this? It's an 18 gauge 1.25" brad nail. I find it does pretty much whatever I need it to do. The only things that I can really say about this, I like it, but I'll tell you what, it's a little heavy. So if you're doing a lot of overhead work, you don't want to be doing a whole lot. So I'm going to go ahead and position a trim piece up there. We're in my son's room, by the way. I've been needing to get this done for a while. It's been a long work in progress. So let's go ahead and put in a couple nails. But before we do put in some nails, I want to tell you all about something. It's got 2 different nail types on here. It says your 3/4 to 2 inch. So you move it back and forth. It kind of tells it where or how deep to shoot it. It's got a safety deal here. And you pull the trigger and you're good to go. As you notice, I'm pulling the trigger and it's not firing. So that's a good safety thing. All right, let's put some nails down. Okay, one thing I noticed, this nail didn't go all the way in. I might have some old wood or something back there. Shove that one in just fine. So I'll have to get that nail out. Let's keep going. Let's keep trying this out. Just gonna slap that right up against there. I guess my favorite thing about this tool so far, besides the one nail that's screwed up, is the fact that it's cordless. I don't need an air hose to do anything. And pretty much as fast as you pull the trigger, move to the next spot, you're going to be able to put another nail in. You're not slamming it. I wouldn't slam it. Mainly because I spent the money on this myself. It's my baby. I love it. But it does the job. I like it a lot. It's a lot better than hauling a darn air compressor up here, my 40-gallon air compressor, with a bunch of air hose and all that mumbo jumbo. I think it looks nice. I don't know why that first one was weird like that. Maybe the capacitors weren't charged up yet inside this, but I know it does well. Got no issues with it. How you feed it, personally, when I'm going to feed this thing, I'm going to take the battery out. Then it's got a magazine right here. Careful, if you do it this way, you're going to drop all your nails. You're going to see that I grabbed them right here. So when you do it, finger here, pull that towards you, nails pop out. And then I'm sure, like a bunch of other cordless brad nailers or nail guns, they've got different ridges for all your different lengths of nail. And then you always make sure you point your nails the correct way. In there first, push it up, lock it in place. You're good to go, ready to rock, and keep going. I know this works with the smaller batteries, and I'm sure this thing just rampages with that big monster. I think it's like a 8 amp hour one that they have now. This 5 amp is more than enough. Way more than enough. All right, let's do my next door over this way. One thing I want to point out, that they designed it for one regular sheet or sleeve and nails, whatever you want to call it, go right there, right out of the box. I think is awesome. All right, and that's it for this video. So, honest opinion, I love it because I don't have to lug around all that other crud from my shop to up here, all the way to my upstairs to do this job. I can do all this trim work with this just fine, and I haven't even used a dot of the battery. So I'm super impressed, and I can't wait to get this trimming done so I can paint the trim. We'll caulk it first, then paint it, get the covers on all the outlets, and get my son up here. I'm excited for it. My only con so far, two of them. That first nail, which I'm going to say maybe the capacitors weren't charged up enough. Maybe I should have shot that first one into a piece of scrap wood. I don't know. Maybe I'll do that from now on. That first shot of having the battery in for that day, I'll hit in a piece of wood. The second thing, this is fairly heavy. This ain't light. You're not going to want to be up here all darn day doing stuff. I ran into something while I was finishing the trim work around the room. One thing I noticed with this here, it's got an anvil or hammer that shoves the nail out. And I found that if it doesn't have adequate, I guess, say, pushback, when you shoot the nail, it doesn't always go back in. The anvil does not. But it does have a feature. You pull the trigger again, and it pulls it back, loads the next nail up, and is ready to fire. Is it an issue? I could see if you're doing this for construction full time it being an issue. But as a homeowner like me, where I'm just doing this for around my own house and then maybe helping my in-laws or some friends or family out, it's not an issue. I'll just pull the trigger again and move on. Now, if it's like these here on this one where I got framework around the window and such, it had enough, like, it's kind of like when you got an anvil and you're hitting on steel, you have that force from the anvil comes back. So when you hit with a hammer, force travels through, but then that same amount of force comes back from the anvil. So you're working the steel on two different sides. It's kind of the same thing here. When this slams the nail in, if it's just like around, like on the bottom of my walls here, where there's some spots where there's no stud there or no frame and just a real thin trim, it didn't have anything pushing back against it. I noticed the anvil would stay forward. I don't know if anybody else has ran into that. If you've got one of these and you have ran into it, let me know. And if you've got a fix, I'd love to hear that too. As like I said in my first review when I said what I thought about this, one, it's kind of heavy. I imagine most of these battery operated ones are heavy just because they got a large capacitor in here that stores up the energy so it shoots it out when you need it to drive that nail. The first nail I put up on this side didn't go in all the way. I still need to pull that back out. Other than that, besides the anvil not coming back when there's not adequate, like, I don't know, something solid back there to shove back on it, and you got to pull the trigger again. Those are the only things I got wrong with this. I won't say wrong, but kind of annoying, but not annoying. It's like I expect it to be heavy. But the whole where the anvil wasn't coming back every time, so I could just move right along and pull the trigger, that was annoying. With that being said, would I buy this again? I sure would. It has helped me out a lot. I don't have to lug my air compressor around everywhere. I don't have to try to run hose everywhere. I don't have to annoy the rest of my family with an air compressor running and charging the tank. That helps me out a lot. And like when I took this to Iowa to work on a house, clear out in Davenport, it was nice to like, hey, I got to go nail that up there on the second story window real quick. Just run up, boom, 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 boom. Good to go. So guys, let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any ideas on what's going on there with the anvil not returning all the time. Granted, I just pull the trigger, comes back, but hopefully you got some insight out of this. And if you want to buy it, awesome. If not, whatever. It's on you to decide. They got Milwaukee, DeWalt, they all have it. It's just, this is a lot cheaper for me to buy. and I've already got all these Bauer batteries and such. So as a homeowner, I still love this purchase. I'm still going to use it, and I've got no problem using it and pulling the trigger twice just to pull it back if I need to. All right, thanks y'all for watching the tool review on the Bauer 18 gauge brad nailer. All right, love you guys. Pray for me or pray for you. Check this out. Let me know what you think. Love you. Bye. Peace out.